today going to show you how to utilize trade setups during the European session. And today I'm also going to show you how you can mimic the Forex experts' trading plans in live trading sessions here. Now, these strategies and techniques I'm going to be sharing with you here today, these are the same ones that we teach our students here. And they are the same ones that we will be learning in what's called our Live Market Forex Mentorship Program. Now, everything I'll be teaching you through here, I actually have learned through this education, and I will be using those same tools and strategies that we do, in fact, teach our students. So what we'll do is let's go ahead, let's get started here. I'll start by letting everybody know that, hold on one second here. Let me advance my slides. There we go. Now, I do want to let you know that trading does have its own form of risk involved, and you should never invest money that you cannot personally afford to lose. And you should always trade with proper equity management in mind. Now, there is no such thing as an undefeated season with trading, and you may incur losses from time to time, but the key is to keep your profits high and to have minimal losses as you're going along. Now, it is also highly recommended that you go through this complete education. You learn this strategy in its entirety, and you begin trading as an educated and knowledgeable trader. Now, also please be advised that anything I'm going to share with you here today, I'm going to pull my charts here in just one moment. I'm going to teach you a trading strategy, but anything I show you here today, do not take this as actual investment advice, because ultimately when it does come time for you to place a trade, that decision to make that trade is yours and yours alone. Now, Rita gave me a quick introduction. Let me just go ahead and give you a formal introduction of who I am and why you should be listening to me today. I have been involved in trading in the investment market since 1998, mostly in the stock market. Only been in the last 2 years I've gotten involved with the Forex market. That is because of Market Traders Institute and their education here. Also worked for several different financial companies and firms, so this is giving me knowledge of what goes on behind the scenes in the financial world. Also helped start and launch an entirely new financial services company from the ground floor up. Now, also mentioned, I am a student of Market Traders Institute. Like many of you here in the room today, I was in one of these webinars wondering if this is something that I could do, if I'd be able to generate a source of income from the Forex market. So as we're going along here today, I know some of you might be scratching your heads. You might be wondering, well, if this is something you can do. Well, if you say that it is, well, we here at Market Traders Institute, we are here to teach you and take you by the hand and step-by-step teach you how to trade the Forex market. Now, before we get started here, I want to go ahead, let me introduce you to the people who are going to be sharing with you that better way of trading. MTI, it stands for Market Traders Institute. Now, we were founded in April of 1994, so we actually just celebrated our 21st anniversary in April of this year. And we are located in Lake Mary, Florida. For those of you who are familiar with the Central Florida area, that is about 20 minutes north of Orlando, Florida, about 30 to 40 minutes north of Walt Disney World. Now, the building you see on your screen, that is actually our building. You can actually come to our building, get trained live in person by the same people who taught me and thousands of other students around the world. Now, we do operate under a single mission here. That is to create successful traders through the empowerment of education. Now, over the last 21 years, we've taught over 30,000 students how to trade the Forex market. A little known fact here at Market Traders Institute, we have an internal goal of by the end of 2015, we're looking to change the lives of an additional 30,000 students. We'd love for you to enroll into our program. We'd love for you to become another one of our success stories. Now, as I mentioned here, we are an education institute. We're here to provide education. We're here to provide tools. We're here to provide training and support. Everything in our belief necessary to be successful in trading the Forex market. Now, not only does MTI have some of the best strategies and tools, but MTI also has some of the best Forex experts and analysts in the Forex industry. Now, one of those specific instructors I want to go ahead and speak about, his name is Joshua Martinez. In fact, many of you here in the room, if you're familiar with the Forex market, you may have heard of him before. He goes by the name of FX Pathfinder. Now, Josh Martinez, he is one of Market Traders Institute's product knowledge experts here, and he is one of our international speakers, and he is a professional analyst. Now, he has trained thousands of Forex investors around the world. In fact, he also took an initial deposit investment of $500 and generated over $39,000 in profit from it. I'm actually going to show you how he did that here in just a second here. Now, he is a full-time trader, and he is one of our Forex masterminds here. And I know some of you might be scratching your heads wondering, well, why am I telling you this morning? Well, the reason I'm telling you is because he created the strategy I'm going to be sharing with you here today. Now, the strategy has allowed him to do some unbelievable things in the Forex market. So let me go ahead, before I just pull up my charts, let me explain to you what he did here. As you see here, this is the actual trading account. You see that he opened it in June of 2011 with $500. Now, what this did was this gave him the ability to trade with what is called a micro position. And he first started trading. Like many of you here in the room here today, he was only maybe making $2 to $5 per trade. He was losing $2 to $5 per trade. Basically, his account was going up and down like a yo-yo. But then he started going through the education that Market Traders Institute offers here, and then he started noticing patterns in the market. So if we were to go ahead, let's quickly fast forward his account here, and we were able to take time compounding and building residual income throughout the course, you find that he was able to start putting more money in as he was going along. So he stuck with it. And what Market Traders Institute did was they taught him how to reinvest his money, how to compound it, build residual income. And of course, as he was going along, he deposited more money. And this allowed him to start seeing daily returns of $4,000 per day, $5,000 per day. He's made $8,000 per day. And actually using the same strategy I showed you, he was actually able to make $10,000 in 30 minutes using the same strategy. So as he was going along, he was withdrawing $10,000 at a time. Now, this was once taking him 6 months of working 5 days a week to make. He was now able to do in a single day. Now, he personally told me that when he was able to start withdrawing this kind of money, it dramatically started changing his financial lifestyle for the better. So those of you that would like to learn this skill, I'm actually going to teach you a part of this here as we're going along. Now, what I want to do here before I pull up my charts here in a second, I want to go ahead and I want to show you his track record here. And this is third-party verified. You can see here, as I mentioned, when he first started out, he was winning some, he was losing some. But then he hit this point right here. Now, this point right here, this is what we refer to as a tipping point. In fact, if you look at my trading account, you'd see something similar. But you can see right here, all of a sudden, things started taking off. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you and teach you the strategy that's been able to assist Joshua in finding this tipping point, also will help assist you in finding your tipping point faster here. So, once again, as I mentioned, he's had days where he's made $8,800 a day. He's made $10,000 in 30 minutes using the same strategy. So I only have a little bit of time here. I only have about another 30-some minutes or so. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to pull up my charts. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to teach you the strategy. It's called the London Breakout strategy. Now, one of the things I do want to point out before we go into my charts here, what I explain to you is that this London Breakout strategy, this is only just one of the strategies that we teach in what's called our live Market Forex mentorship and empowerment program. Now, this is a live mentorship program that you can actually get taught by a live instructor. You can actually look over the shoulder of a professional trader, see what they're doing here. Now, before we jump into the charts, I know some of you, just to take this off the table right now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, what does this mentorship program cost? $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. That's the neat thing about this. I'm going to show you today at the end of the webinar, it's only going to cost you $27 for the first 30 days of getting into this live trading club. And to make it even better, it's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so it's a risk-free opportunity here today. So I do also want to explain to you that the next live market analysis session, it is coming up this Monday at 10 a.m. So I just want to go ahead and take that off the table, put everybody at ease that this is very affordable for less than the cost of going out to eat for a couple or even going to a movie. You can actually learn how to trade with a live trader for a full month risk-free money-back guarantee. So let's go ahead, let's pull up our charts right now. And do I have anybody that is brand new to the Forex market? If you are brand new, please just type in a me, type in a Y, or just give me some sort of indicator if you are brand new. I don't want to spend too much time talking about the Forex market if those of you who are familiar. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of you that are brand new. So let me just take 2 minutes here. Let me quickly explain to you what we're doing here in the Forex market. So thank you, Barry, Ray, Marvin, Bob, Harry, Patrick. Great. I appreciate those of you responding here. So what I've done here is I pulled up my charts right here. Now, a couple of you already asked, what is this charting software? This charting software, this is called our Ultimate Charting Software. This is something that we provide to our students here at Market Traders Institute, and it is exclusive to Market Traders Institute. There's a lot of proprietary systems and strategies here. We actually have, for those of you who are familiar with Fibonacci's, we actually have what's called an auto Fibonacci tool. I'm not going to get into that today, but what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to teach you the strategy. And let me go ahead and explain to you what we're doing on this chart. If you look in the upper left-hand corner of my screen right here, on this chart right here, what we're doing in the Forex market is we're trading currencies against each other. On my chart right here, you can see that this is the Great British Pound, GBP, Australian dollar, AUD currency pair. So in essence, what we're doing on this chart is we're taking the British Pound versus the US dollar in an attempt to figure out which one's going to gain in value against the other. Now, I don't want to spend too much time explaining how these chart works, but these little rectangles you see on your screen, These are called Japanese candlesticks. In fact, what you're looking at here, this is what's called a candlestick chart. All you need to really take away from what I'm about to show you here is that what you're looking at here is these white candlesticks. These mean the market has gone up in whatever time frame you select on your chart. These dark blue candlesticks, these mean the market has gone down during that time frame. In the case with this chart that I'm showing you right here, this is called a daily time frame. That means each one of these candlesticks, it represents what the market has done in one day of time frame. So white candlesticks mean that the market went up during that day of time frame, the day of trading, and the dark blue ones, it means it went down. Now, these candlesticks, they're going to form what are called candlestick formations. And I'm not going to go into too much detail teaching about this. If you want to learn how to identify these candlestick formations, we can teach you when you go through our full education. But what I want to show you here is these candlestick formations, they help allow us to predict where this market is going. I've gone ahead and I've circled a couple of these here. And what happens in the market, in the Forex market, is that this market, it moves in waves. You can see what has happened here is that the market's moving in waves just like this, and right here it forms a candlestick formation. In fact, this one right here, this is called an engulfing bullish candlestick right there. You can see what happens here. This tells the trader a story. This is saying, hey, William, look for this market to U-turn and go upward in a bullish movement. So the market pulls back, forms a candlestick formation, goes up, pulls back, forms a morning star candlestick formation. And once again, I don't have too much time to go into detail about this, but if you want to learn how to identify these, I promise you we can teach you how to do this here. So forms a morning star candlestick formation, U-turns, pulls back, piercing line candlestick formation. So for those of you wondering how we can predict where this market's going, this is just one of the strategies. We can use candlestick formations, we can use trend lines, a bunch of different strategies, but unfortunately I'm not going to teach you that here in 45 minutes. But if you would like to learn how to do this, we can teach you how to do this here at Market Traders Institute. Now, what I want to do right now is I want to go ahead and I want to pull up my charts here for the London breakout strategy here. Now, for the London breakout strategy, we are going to be utilizing 6 different currency pairs, and I have them up on my chart right here. Now, you might want to write these down or do a screenshot of this, because what you're looking at here, you're looking at the British pound, Great British pound Australian dollar currency pair. You're looking at the British pound New Zealand dollar currency pair, the Kiwi, the Great British pound Canadian dollar, Great British pound US dollar, Great British pound Japanese yen, and the British pound Swiss franc. Now, so these are the 6 currency pairs that we utilize for the London breakout strategy. Now, what I also want to show you here is that the London breakout strategy, what I'm showing you here, this is only just one of the different strategies we're going to teach you in that live market session here. So just want to explain to you how this actually works, and once again reassure you that what I'm showing you here is just the tip of the iceberg. You're going to learn so much by getting into these live market sessions, looking over the shoulder of a live professional analyst, and they're going to show you how to actually trade this here. So I only have about another 30 minutes here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump right in here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up the Great British pound US dollar, this currency pair right here. And this is, like I said, just one of the different currency pairs we're going to utilize as part of the London breakout strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up here, and I'm going to pull this down here. Let me show you what we actually do as part of this strategy. Now, what we're looking for, oops, sorry about that. Go ahead, let me check that off there. Now, what we're looking for in this market, and you might want to go ahead and write this down. Yeah, Jeremy asked, should I be writing this down? Yeah, you might want to write this down. What we'll be looking for in the market is for it to form either its high or its low for the morning between 2 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time and 5 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. So we're going to be looking for the market to either pull back and form its low and rally up, or we're going to be looking for it to rally up, form its high, and pull back between 2 a.m. Eastern Time and 5 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, the reason for this is that in the Forex market, there are 3 different trading sessions that go on daily in this market. You have the Asian trading session, you have the London European session, which we're going to be trading with this strategy, and you have the New York, the North American, the United States trading session. These trading sessions, they overlap. So what we're going to be looking for here is between the close of the Asian trading session and the start of the European session, we are looking for that high or low during the morning. Now, once again, unfortunately, in 30 minutes, I'm not going to have enough time to really go into much detail about this. That's why it's important to get into those live sessions. Our live professional analysts will go into much greater detail and they'll explain this to you. So we're going to be looking for the market to form its high or low between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. And then we're going to be looking for the market to form its opposite, high or low for the day. Let me type that out for everybody as well. We're going to be looking for this opposite high or low between 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time and 2 o'clock, sorry about that, 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Now, the reason for this is because you're having the close of the London European session and the beginning of the start of the U.S. session here. So I actually have seen some of you here. Can everybody see my charts? I want to make sure that everybody does, in fact, see the charts on the screen here. Can everybody just type in a Y, type in a yes? Let me know that you do, in fact, see the charts on your screen here. Because I'm getting a couple of you. Okay, great. So at Hollow, it says you're not seeing that. That's isolated to you because I just got about 150 of you saying that you are. Everybody should see an actual chart on the screen right now. If you do not, you might want to check your connection on your side. Just want to throw that out right there. So, okay, so going back to our strategy here, like I said, we're going to be looking for the market to pull back, form either a high or low for the morning between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., and then either rally up and form its opposite high between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m., or pull back and form its opposite low between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. Now, once again, I apologize for having to rush through this here, but once again, when we get into those live trading sessions, I assure you they're going to go into much greater detail explaining how this actually works. Now, what we have found is that on these 6 different currency pairs, we have what's called an average daily trading range. That means we're looking for this market to move a minimum of 50 pips in one direction and as many as over 200 pips during this session here. So we're going to be looking for, if the market forms its low, we're going to be looking for it to move a minimum of 50 pips in one direction, either up or down. Just to give you an explanation of how that works. In fact, we've seen it move as many as 200 pips. In fact, what I'm going to be showing you here today, we're going to be seeing some movements here of over 100 pips, and I think it's close to 200 pips is what I'm going to be showing you here. Now, in this market, we trade in units. These units are called lots. Now, we have what are called micro lots. Now, a micro lot, this is about a $20 investment from your trading account. And with each micro lot trade, each pip is going to be worth 10 cents. Let me type that out for everybody here. Just want to explain to you the type of profits here. So if we're going to be looking at a minimum of 50 pips in one direction, so on the low end, we should be looking to capture, with a mini lot account, about $5 in profit per currency pair per day. Now, we also have what are called mini lots. Now, a mini lot, that is about a $200 investment from your trading account. And with each mini lot position trade, each pip is going to be worth $1. So if we go back to a minimum of 50 pips of directional movement, you're now looking at about $50 in profit per currency pair per day. So those are two of the smaller ones. Now, I also want to show you what's called a standard lot. Now, a standard lot, that is the standard by which most traders strive to achieve. So let me go ahead and let me type that out, a standard lot. Now, a standard lot is about a $2,000 investment per trade. Each pip that you capture in this market, each pip is going to be worth $10. So if we go back to our example on the low end of capturing 50 pips per day, you're now looking at a profit of $500 per currency pair per day. Now, I know some of you, this might be brand new to you here, and wondering what a pip is. Well, a pip, it stands for, in fact, let me type that out for everybody. A pip, it means price, interest, point. So I see a couple of you asking, what's a pip? Basically, what a pip is. A pip, it represents 1/100th of a penny. So a penny, it is represented by the second decimal point in a number. A pip, it's represented by the fourth decimal point, and it represents 1/100th of a penny. So if you're looking for a unit of measure smaller than a penny, it would be the equivalent to a pip. And now, just as there are 100 pennies in a US dollar, there are 100 pips in a penny. So once again, unfortunately, I only have about another 25 minutes to really go over this. I don't have a lot of time to go into detail about this, but what we're trying to do in this market is capture pips, and I'm going to show you how we actually go about doing that right now. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to go ahead in here, and I'm going to pull this down. And I'm going to teach you this London breakout strategy now. So what I want to do is I want to explain to you that what we're going to be looking for in this market, we're going to be looking for the close of the 3 a.m. Eastern Time candle. So our strategy is going to be based off of the 3 a.m. candle. We're going to be waiting for the close of that candle, and then we're going to implement the strategy. Some of you might be saying, well, William, why the 3 o'clock candle? Well, this is what we found is our professional analysts, they have found that this is the candle, the best candlestick to base this strategy off of. And what we have found is that what this does is this gives the European market about an hour or so to really get started in going here today. So what I want to do today is I want to teach you a strategy you can start to take advantage of starting tomorrow night at the beginning when this Forex market opens back up again to allow you to capture 50 pips per day per currency pair. So what I want to do is I want to show you here right now. I've gone ahead, I've labeled a couple of these. If everybody were to look right here, oops, sorry, right there. Sorry, here's my 3 a.m. candle right there. Now, if you can see right here, here's our 3 a.m. candle right there. Let me just double check that. So, and what we had here is we had directional movement. The market pulled back, and in this case right here, it moved off of that 3 a.m. candle. It moved, what was the movement off of that here? It was about 39 pips of movement right there. We have the next 3 a.m. candle right there, and we had directional movement off of that. This one was a much better directional movement right there. That was 100 pips of movement right there. We have the next 3 a.m. candle, this one right there. We had about 36 pips of directional movement here. So I just want to point this out showing you this type of directional movement coming off of that 3 a.m. candle. Now what I pulled up here, thank you, I am Sam. What I pulled up right now is the British pound US dollar. This is on a 1 hour time frame. And what that means is that each one of these candlesticks, it represents 1 hour of time frame. So I'm going to come in here right now. Let's quickly now bring this back to this is July 14th. So this was about a couple days ago. And I'm going to bring this to the live market. I'm going to show you a couple of the recent trades off of this. And then what I'll do is I'll quickly come in here, show you what some of the other currency pairs did. And then I'm going to show you here in the last 5 minutes how you can actually get enrolled into this program and find out how to trade this live with a live professional analyst here. So what I want to do right now is let's go ahead. I've gone ahead here, and we have now the 3 o'clock a.m. candle. This is the 3 o'clock a.m. candle on July 14th. This was just a couple days ago. So what we're going to do with this strategy, we're going to come in here, and with this strategy, I'm going to come in, and at the close of that 3 a.m. candle, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to set 2 entry positions. I'm going to come in here and set 1 entry position here, 10 pips above the high of that 3 a.m. candle. So we're coming here right about there, and that's going to be an entry buy position. In fact, let me stretch this out a little bit here. Let me zoom in here for everybody. There we go. So entry buy. We're having entry. Oops, sorry about that. Entry buy position. This is going to be plus 10 pips above the high of that 3 a.m. candle. So what I've done here, set an entry position, and we're not in the market until the market rallies up and breaks into that position, 10 pips above the high. Now we're also going to set an entry sell position, 5 pips below that low of that 3 a.m. candle. So we're coming here, and right about there, I'm going to set an entry sell position. Now my entry sell position, it is going to be minus 5 pips below the low of that 3 a.m. candle. So once again, we're setting 2 entry positions here, and we're going to be looking for the market to either pull back and trigger our entry sell or rally up and trigger our entry buy. And once again, I apologize for not being able to go into too much detail here. But Mike says here the 3 a.m. candle is it the start or the close? Now, we're waiting for the close of the 3 a.m. candle. So essentially what you're doing is you're now at 4 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. You're now ready to implement that strategy here. So let's go ahead. Let's see what happens here. Bam. The next candle, 1 hour later, the market does in fact rally up, triggers that entry buy position right there. So the entry buy position right here, this now became a market buy. So that means we are now in this market. We are now buying into that position. Now, our first order of business of when one of these are triggered, when these entry positions are triggered, what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to cancel the opposite order because we're looking to buy the market. We believe the market's going in an upward direction. We're going to cancel that order right there. Now, the next order of business of what we're going to do is we're going to set our stop loss. We're going to come in here, and when we're buying into the market, we are going to set our stop loss right at the low. Stop loss, and this is going to be when buying. That's going to equal at the low of the 3 o'clock. Oops, 3 o'clock of the low of the 3 at the low. I'll just put it at the low. So it's going to be at the low. Now the stop loss, once again, when we're buying, it's going to be at the low. When we're selling the market, it's going to be a little bit different. So what we're going to be going after now, once again, we're going after a minimum of 50 pips per currency pair per day. So we're going to set our target right there, 1.5531. So our target's going to be 1.5531 right there. And let me go ahead and compress this just a little bit right there. And our target is going to be right there. Let me type that out. Target is going to equal a minimum of plus 50 pips. Now we're going after that minimum of 50 pips, meaning that there's an opportunity we could actually go after more if the market allows it. And once again, in these live trading sessions, our professional analysts, they can help you move your stop loss as needed here. So let's go ahead and here, let's see what happens here. Now 1 hour later, bam, the market does in fact rally up and hits our target right there. And if you can see here, not only did it hit our target, it continued to rally up for an additional 71 pips. So this would have been a situation right now that in the live market, our analysts could probably move our stop loss up to actually lock in profit as we're going along. But I just want to show you here, we just captured a minimum of 50 pips on that trade. So in this case right here, we just captured 50 pips, just like that. Now, for those of you wondering what type of profit that was, with a mini lot account, we just made $50 in profit off that trade at $1 per pip. With a standard lot, that just equaled $500 of profit, and that was in 1 hour. In 1 hour trading, bam, we just made that right there. So how many of you would love to be able to do that? How many of you with just one currency pair in 1 hour, if you're trading a mini lot, you just made $50? If you're trading a standard lot, you made $500 in profit in 1 hour. Yeah, that's Michael and Alexander. Yeah, a lot of you are saying yes. So once again, let's go ahead and here. I do want to explain to you that this is just one of the strategies you're going to learn. You're going to learn while you're going through here. So Sid says here, how do you figure out the directionality? I said I'll answer that here in just a second with the next trade here. Now, some of you are saying, well, why does this happen here? Well, the reason for this, the reason is because during that European trading session, what we have found is that the European market, it processes the largest bulk of the Forex transactions. So during this period, the banks are processing their orders. This provides that injection of volume and directional movement. So what this does is gives you and I the ability to take advantage of that directional movement. So let's go ahead, let's advance down, and we're going to now look for that next 3 a.m. candle. Let me go ahead, let me delete all this here. We're now out of that trade. Let me delete all of that here. And let's go ahead, let's quickly move this to the next 3 a.m. candle, just like that. Oops, let's move this over here. So let's find that next 3 a.m. candle. Oops, oh, sorry about that. I went too fast here. So here's the next 3 a.m. candle right there. Bam. 3 o'clock a.m. on July 15th right there. So what we're going to do, we wait for the close of that 3 a.m. candle. In fact, let me delete this. Oh, somebody was just saying here the investment. Actually, ironically, Sam, I didn't get a chance to delete this. So for those of you who want to type the investment size, if you're trading a mini lot, your investment size was about $200. Standard lot, your investment was $2,000 on that trade. So just give you an idea of how that actually works, just like that. So let's go ahead now. I only have about 15 minutes here. Let's go ahead. First order of business, at the close of that 3 a.m. candle, we're going to come in here. We're going to set our entry sell minus 5 pips below. So we're going to come in here, set our entry sell position right there. So, entry sell is going to equal minus 5 pips below the low of that 3 a.m. candle, just like that. So entry sell, pending order, 5 pips below. Entry buy is going to be 10 pips above that high. So we're coming here. So 74 right there is going to be our entry buy. Oops. Sorry about that. Let me delete that. And our entry buy, once again, just a pending order, is going to be plus 10 pips above the high. Now, some of you asking some good questions here. So some of you asking why the difference? Why 10 pips above, 5 pips below? The reason for this is because you have to take into consideration for the spread. Now, once again, that's a better question that in the live market sessions, our live professional analysts, they'll be able to walk you through, explain this to you in a much greater detail. Let's see here. So, yeah, so Brad says here, yeah, so we're waiting now. This is the close of the 3 a.m. candle. So essentially what we're doing right now, it is now 4 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. We are now ready to take advantage of this opportunity. So that's when we come in here. We set these right here. We're at the close of that 3 a.m. candle, and we have our entry buy 10 pips above, our entry sell 5 pips below. So let's see what happens on this next position. So bam, within the next hour, our entry sell, this gets triggered. This gets triggered in our broker account. So our entry sell just went into a market sell, meaning that we are now selling this market, we are shorting the market. And I know some of you might be scratching your head, well, how does that work? Well, it's called shorting the market. You can actually make money in this market when it's going up or going down. But let's go ahead in here now. We're in a selling position, meaning we're selling the market. First order of business is to come in, cancel the opposite order. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to set a stop loss. Now, our stop loss when selling the market is going to be 5 pips above the high. So we're coming in here right there. So let me type that out. Stop loss when selling. It's a little bit different when we're selling the market here. It's going to be plus 5 pips above the high, just like that. So just like that. So once again, the difference between buying and selling, our professional analysts, they could go ahead and they can explain this to you in much greater detail in that live trading session. So what we're also going to do now, after we have our stop loss, we're going to come in here and we're now looking for our target. And our target is going to be 50 pips, a minimum of 50 pips. So right there, 1.5594. So 1.5594. Right about there's going to be our target, and once again our target is going to equal a minimum of plus 50 pips. And once again, in the live sessions, our live professional analysts, they'll be able to walk you through, and if we'll be able to say, hey, we might be able to go after more on these. But let's go ahead and let's see what happens here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours later, the market does, in fact, hit our target. So that right there, we just captured another 50 pips. So 50 pips on that one. With a mini lot, you just captured another $50 in profit at $1 per pip. With a standard lot, you just made another $500 in profit off of that right there. So how many of you are liking this strategy? That was in about 5 hours of trading. So how many of you understand this so far? How many of you are getting this strategy and feel this is something that within just the last 20 minutes that just even just showing you here, this is something that's easy enough that you could do? Yeah, a lot of you are saying yes. So I want you to imagine actually being into live market sessions, having live professional analysts walking you through this as you're going along. So what I'll do right now, let's go ahead. I have enough time to show you one more quick one, and then what I'll do is I'll bring this actually to the live market. And then I'll show you what the last several trades have done with this here. So let's go ahead, let's delete this here. I'm going to delete these here. Yeah, what you're saying, yes, go ahead in here. So here we are at the next 3 a.m. candle. This is the 3 a.m. candle on the 16th. This was just, what was this? This was Thursday morning right there. So Thursday morning right there, here's our 3 a.m. candle. So what we're going to do at the close of that 3 a.m. candle, we're going to set 2 positions here. So let's go ahead in here right now. We're going to set an entry buy position. How many pips above the high right here? How many pips above the high are we going to set our entry buy? Yeah, we're going to come in here. We're going to set our entry buy 10 pips above. So if this was right there, 50, we're going to set this at 60. Yeah, so Brad got that right. Jeremy did. Michael got that right. So yeah, entry buy is going to equal plus 10 pips above the high. Just like that. Yeah, so Manuel got that right. Tia got that right. Now, we're also going to come in here. We're going to set an entry sell position. How many pips below the low? How many pips below are we going to set our entry sell? Yeah, Brad got that right. Alexander got that right. Daniel got that right. So we're coming here, and our entry sell is going to be 5 pips below. So minus 5 pips below the low. Oops, I apologize for that. Let me type that entry sell. Sell is going to equal minus 5 pips below. So we have our 2 pending orders. John got that right. Joseph got that right. So let's go ahead and here. So bam, the next hour, our entry sell gets triggered. And once again, these are in your broker's platform. This is automatically done here. So our entry sell becomes a market sell. So we're now in a selling position. We're selling this market. First order of business is to come in here, cancel the opposite order. In this case, it's that entry buy because we're not looking to buy the market. We're looking to sell the market right there. And then we're going to come in here. We're going to set a stop loss. Now, with a stop loss when buying, it's going to be 5 pips above the high. So we're coming here 56.50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. So our stop loss when selling the market is going to equal plus 5 pips above the high. Now, once again, I know some of you are asking some good questions about this, why the difference when buying and selling. Once again, in the live sessions, our live professional analysts will be able to walk you through this and explain this in much greater detail. Now, we're going to be going after our target now. How many pips are we going after for our target on the low end? Go ahead, type that into the chat box. Let's see who's getting this here. Yeah, so yeah, Fader, T got that, John did, Brad, Jeremy. Yeah, so we're going after a minimum of 50 pips. So we're going after our target right here, 1.5560. So 1.5560, right about there, is our target. I'm going to just quickly type this out for everybody here. Patrick, Bob, John, everybody got that right. Yeah, target's going to equal a minimum of, oops, sorry about that, plus 50 pips. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's go in here and let's see what happens here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hours later, bam, our target gets hit. We just captured another 50 pips. So not too bad. 3 days of trading. With a mini lot on that trade, you just made another $50. Not too bad. A standard lot, you just generated another $500. So how many of you can see yourself doing this? How many of you feel it would be worth spending $27 with a 30-day money-back guarantee to learn how to do this from a live professional analyst? Because the next live trading session, we have another market analysis session happening on Monday. The next live trading session is happening on Tuesday. So here's what we're going to do. I see a lot of you saying yes. I have about 6 more minutes here. What I want to do is I'm going to bring this to the live market, and let me show you what the recent trades did. So let's delete all this here. Let me quickly delete all this here. Oops, sorry about that. Let's see if I can delete all this quickly here. There we go. So let's quickly delete all that, clean up my charts here. Now here is the next 3 a.m. candle. This was on yesterday morning. So this is from the 17th. Can everybody see here what happened here? Look at that directional movement here. We had directional movement of, let's see here, 100 pips. So right there, 100 pips directional movement based off that 3 a.m. candle. And there's the live market. So we're now waiting for the next morning here. So this is a situation right here where in the live session, a live professional analyst would have been able to walk you through this here. Now, Brad says here, do you adjust for sleep patterns of this? Well, Brad, yeah, some of you might be saying, well, do I have to get up at 3 a.m. to do this? Well, think about this. Would it be worth it to get up at 3 a.m. every morning? Look at that. 3 days, we catch 150 pips. This one right here, he's going to capture as many as 100 pips. That's the pound US dollar. That's just one currency pair. Let me show you what some of these other currency pairs did. Here's the pound Australian dollar. Look at this. Here's the 3 a.m. candle, I believe, on the 16th. Let's see here. On the 16th, and we had directional movement on that one of 175 pips right off that 3 a.m. candle. Here is the 3 a.m. candle from yesterday morning. We had directional movement of 105 pips. That's just another currency pair. Let me show you 1 or 2 more here. Here is the pound New Zealand dollar, directional movement, and then we had the 3 a.m. candle. 200. Okay, I'm just going to end it on this one right here. 200. Can everybody see here? Here's our 3 a.m. candle right there. 3 a.m. There was directional movement off of that, 200 pips just off of one currency pair. So how many of you are seeing the value about this? Okay, so Theodore says euro, US dollar. Oh, no, we actually don't do the euro with this. This is based off of the pound, Theodore. So that's what we're doing here. So Fader T says, so the live mentoring starts at 3 a.m. Actually here, Theodore, here's what actually happens here. Here's what I want you to imagine. Let's just say here, we're based off of this one I just showed you right here. You're actually going to be in the live trading session starting at 2 a.m. So before this 3 a.m. candle right here, before the 3 a.m. candle, you're going to be in the live session here at 2 o'clock a.m. You're going to have our live professional analysts that are going to be walking you through. So we're actually going to start at 2 o'clock a.m. You start at 2 o'clock, and then you have that full 3 o'clock hour before the market actually happens. So before this trade even gets placed, you're going to have a live professional analyst saying, hey, yeah, we're going to be looking to take a selling position right here. So here's what we're going to do. So here's what we're going to do. I only have 3 more minutes here. What I want to do is I want to go ahead. Let's go ahead. I have 3 more minutes to show you how to get involved here. I apologize for going a little bit late. You're going to have these live trading sessions. The next one starts here on Monday. You're going to have a live session on Monday morning. What I'm going to do right now, let's bring this up here. I'm going to go ahead and send that link out to everybody. I ran a little bit late here, but I think everybody sees the value in this here. Once again, Patrick, I'm going to answer that question here in 2 seconds. Let's go ahead and let me bring this to the link. I'm going to send the link out right now. Let me send the link out to everybody here in the room. If you click on the link, you'll be able to register for this here. I only have 2 more minutes. Normally, these live trading sessions, they're $297 per month. You have to be a student to get involved here. Here's what we're going to do. For $27 for the first 30 days, you get to try this out. You get to take this for a test drive, and once again, this is a risk-free opportunity. You get 30 days to try it out, and within those 30 days, if you do not find the value in this, then you're going to be able to go ahead and you can ask for a free money-back guarantee.